So could you tell me your full name, please?
Yes, that's Mukarram Sonwa, and Mukarram spelled as M-U-K-A-D-D-A-M.
Okay, very good. And where are you from?
I'm from Uzbekistan, that is situated in the middle of Asia, and it's famous for being the historical country.
Okay. Yes. Could you describe your hometown for me?
Yes, actually I come from the Bukhara, and it's a pretty famous city of my country because there are a lot of historical monuments and at the same time buildings. So most of the tourists visit my country, my city first, and then they go to other places. So the main reason why it's famous, as I told you before, it's historical. There are some modern buildings, but mainly they consist of historical ones.
Is there anything you dislike about your hometown?
Well, the answer for this question would be no, because I can see a lot of tourists, and what I can speak in English or try to do culture exchange programs or anything. So there are a lot of options when I live in this city compared to the modern ones, because they are limited, I think. Yes, but so the answer to this question would be no.
Okay. And could you tell me about some of your hobbies?
Well, yeah, one of the hobbies, well, I don't know whether to call it hobby or not, but I really love studying. Even though I'm 25, according to the Korean age law or something, so I still love studying, and that is what actually makes me happy. And another hobby that I have is obvious and common to others as well, that is listening to music and watching TVs.
Okay. Now we're going to talk about getting up early. Yeah. So do you often get up early in the morning?
Well, frankly speaking, this is my weakness. I can get up early in the morning. The reason is that I have a sleeping disorder that makes me unable to sleep until 4 a.m. or sometimes 3 a.m. So, but the maximum is 4 a.m. So it's really hard for me to get up early in the morning.
Okay. And is your weekend routine the same as your weekday routine in terms of waking up?
Well, not really, but for example, during the weekdays, I feel stressed out because I have to, I don't know why, but I have a stereotype that I have to wake up early during the weekdays. But weekends, these are the days where I can do whatever I want according to my thinking or whatever. So I feel I feel more stressed out during the weekends about my waking up.
Okay. And tell me about the last time you woke up very early.
The last time I woke up very early is today to get to the exam test, because getting here takes me 2 hours by using different kind of public transportations. So I had to wake up at 5 in order to get here, getting up and stuff like that. So today is the day that I have to mention.
Right. And is breakfast important to you in the morning?
Well, yeah, because I used to be chubby and I had to take different kind of health. I had to go to different kind of places to discuss about my health, the doctors, the people, experts who work on this field. So they always recommended me to skip the dinner, but always follow on the breakfast. So yes, breakfasts are quite important for me.
Okay. And do you think, in general, people these days get enough sleep?
Well, thinking about it, I don't think that they are getting enough sleep. Looking at the people that I know, they're always worried about their future, because the people I know are the younger ones in the generation, and they're always worried about their studies. They were always worried about their future, so that's why they keep studying, and also they love playing games, computer games usually. So they spend all night playing computer games.
All right, perfect. I'll do this for part 1. We'll go on to the second part of the test now. Lovely. I'm going to give you a bit of paper. Okay. So yeah, there is your part 2 question. There's a pen for you.
Thank you.
I'll give you 1 minute now to take some notes. Okay, so you can begin. Okay, that's 1 minute now. Thank you.
Good. So, okay, I'll start by answering to the question of a good decision that I made and what is it. So this decision I made was about the challenge. That actually, I challenged myself to read books, like 3 books in a month. And when I started it, I think I have to say that it was the end of my semester, and that was November. The reason why I decided to read 3 books in a month was because I saw a psychiatrist and I was in the early stages of the panic disorder, and you know, if I do not recover from it, that will have a disastrous the consequence in the future. Therefore, the psychiatrist decided me to do something that I really like. So I love studying and I love reading. Therefore, I decided to read books and challenge myself. And the result of it was quite astonishing. So far, I have finished 6 books because I started in November and it's already 2 months and a half. So, and also I was able to get a lot of informations and the things that I actually didn't know. And also it made me much happier, and now I feel that my time isn't wasted and I don't feel pressured or stressed out as I used to be. And I think that reading books is also important for people because it always helps them to learn and get something useful, and it's never a waste of time or something. So that's the reason why I think I'm gonna continue doing this challenge for myself. And I think that rather than watching movies that I used to do, and it made me stressed out because I usually look at the people and I feel like I'm just a loser or something. But reading the books, I'm finding out that there are people who are having the same problems with me, but still trying to move on. Yeah.
Okay, that's 2 minutes now. Perfect. Okay, so when you read, do you have a certain place you go to read?
Yeah, I am kind of an introvert person, so it's not common for me to be in front of the public or in front of the crowded places. So I prefer my house or the place where it's super silent, or yes. I don't like noise. Yeah.
Great. All right, so we'll move on to the 3rd part of the test now. Okay, let's keep going. So yeah, what decisions do people make every day?
Well, there are some basic, the human decisions, what time to get up early and what to do. They make some kind of schedules about their days. And sometimes they take the long-term decisions, what I'm gonna do in the future, or what is gonna happen if I invest the stock today, or these kind of things. So usually it's short-term and long-term decisions that they make.
Why do some people find it difficult to make decisions?
Well, actually, I'm in a category of this kind of people because overthinking, I think, is the main reason for having the difficulty to make a decision or come up with a decision. Because we think too much. We think about the possible outcomes and something that is not possible. So yes, that's why we limit ourselves, and some people do not want to go over their comfort zones, because sometimes making decisions means that you have to go over your expectations and everything. So that's the reasons why they do not want to or find it difficult to make decisions overall.
Do you think it's a good idea to ask other people advice when making a decision?
Well, it depends on the kind of decision you want to make, because I feel if you're gonna make a personal decision, it's depends on you, because nobody knows you better than you are. But when it comes to the decisions of about the science or medicine, you have to discuss it with others as well, because it's a global decision, and so the consequences will result or affect the whole world. So I feel it depends on the purpose and the type of decisions you want to make.
And why do some people dislike asking others for advice?
Yeah, I like from the question that you just say that I can feel myself. The reason is because they don't like being ignored, or they don't like being like rejected by the ideas. Like, for example, I wanted to go to another country, but my parents rejected this idea, saying that South Korea is the safest country to go for, and I was like really stressed out and upset. But yeah, that was actually my decision in my life. That's what I thought. But yeah, as you can see, it's the safest. Like considering the COVID-19 in other cases.
Indeed.
So yeah.
And can children make decisions on their own?
Well, well, I think that children are still young and they are not experienced as their parents or their teachers. So I feel like to answer no to this question, because sometimes they want something just for their own desire and they don't know about the consequences. Therefore, like parents, knowing everything, they can help and they can guide them. They actually in the age that they need a hand to hold and a voice to guide. So therefore, I think that children are not still able to make decisions on their own. Yeah, so like the parents and teacher or the people who are responsible for them are the ones who must help them to make a decision or something.
Yeah, so do you think parents should make the decision for them or help the children make the decision?
Well, I'll go for the second option, because helping. Because sometimes like parents just want their own desires, like, okay, I want my son or my daughter to be a doctor. And let's say the child is interested in some kind of like arts, and usually this is the case. Parents reject their children who are interested or talented in art just because they think that it's not a good way of earning money in the future. Therefore, it's gonna stress out the kids. And I read books and I saw my friends who were like pressured by their parents, having like losing both their talents and interest in life. So I think like the role of the parents is just to help and guide. It's not like they should not like force their kids to follow their decisions also.
And what are some of the reasons people change their decisions?
There can be like some controllable and uncontrollable reasons. For example, uncontrollable reasons can be the weather and the situation. So like, for example, I wanted to go to another country, but because of the COVID-19 I can't, and it's not out of my it isn't something that I can control. It's out of my control. Therefore, the weather and some kind of like political or the social like problems, such as like some kind of wars between countries, that they can affect this. And another reason why people change their decision can be like financial situation of theirs and sudden and unexpected like incidents and these kind of things.
All right. Perfect. We're done. All right. So that was a good test. Yeah, you were very comfortable. So I'd say your score today would be, I'd say 8.5. There's 4 things we're graded on. As you know, we're graded on fluency, vocabulary, pronunciation, and grammar. Okay, so if we look at each one individually, fluency was very strong. There was barely any hesitation, so it was really good. Wide range of vocabulary. Pronunciation, no issues at all. These 3 very strong. Also grammar, not much to talk about, but there are small errors that we can look at. You know, when you're speaking in front of a camera and doing a test is hard, there's going to be small errors. I'm sure you know these errors as well, but I'll just point them out to you. Anyway, talking about hobbies, you said one of the hobbies. Obviously, when it's yours, you should say one of my hobbies. My hobbies. One time you said watching TVs. So watching TV or watching TV shows is fine.
Right.
Watching TV programs. When we say transportation is uncountable.
Yeah,
so we can't say different transportations. We should say different kinds of transportation or different methods of transportation. Other one you said about people they always worried about. So make sure always goes with present tense. So they always worry about this. These are small errors here, nothing much. Stressed out on weekends. So I think you know the meaning of stressed out, don't you? Yeah, I think it was just a slip of the tongue. Yeah, but It's okay. Other ones, when you're talking about part 2, you said your doctor decided me to do something. So I would say instead of decided, I'd probably say recommended.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah, recommended me. Yeah. Reading a book. Same. He said the same problem with me. Preposition for same is always as. Same as. Always like that. So it's similar, you'd say similar to. Same, always same as. And one time you said introvert person. So introvert is the noun.
No, right.
So you should say introverted person for the adjective. Yeah, small things there. In part 3, you mentioned comfort zone. You said like over their comfort zone. Instead of over, you should say out of their comfort zone. Yeah. Smaller things. You said because of the COVID-19. Usually we don't say the article for, you say just because of COVID, because of Corona. Yeah, there's no article for that. So as you can see, the grammars are very small. There's not much. There's just a few things that will add up that will bring your score down a small bit. But yeah, you're really good, really comfortable.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for coming in.
Thank you for your feedback.
No bother. Thank you.